Welcome to the buy list. This is episode 31.
This is not financial advice. This is cardboard. We back,
Oh,
baby. I
that
got my
was
cards again. I can throw them at the camera.
a new method of chucking them at the camera.
Dude, I actually don't remember what episode this is. We're that deep. I'm always innovating here at the buy list.
Mm-hmm.
Never a dull moment.
Yep, for sure. So, how's it been, Nate? What's
Good.
new?
I'm not in Texas, so I'm not sweating my ass off anymore. Pardon. That is a miserable place to live. Sorry, everyone from Texas, but listen, I was born and raised in West Michigan. If it goes above 85 degrees, I sweat like a hog.
Mm.
So, I don't know how you do it. Bravo to you. But if I was there any longer, I'm pretty sure I would have had a heat stroke.
Nice. Yeah. Well, welcome back to Michigan.
Yeah. How you been,
Um,
Ted?
I
What's new with you?
I've been doing pretty good. I got the draft this week. Another 11-man pod at the locals. So drafting experience was whew, man, that's, I guess it's like iron sharpens iron or something. I don't know. I don't know what to take from these drafts other than just like I don't know. Anyways, I got to play some chain. That was fun. Miss him. He's a fun puzzle. I know he's broken, but he was always a fun puzzle. And then my stream on Tuesday, find that on the channel because I opened 12 boxes, Nate, and I pulled 10 legendaries.
Yeah, that was wild.
We were at one point we were at one per box, and it was 8 in a row before we missed, and I was like, "What's happening right now, dude? It's crazy." Um, I actually like to open Dust Till Dawn, like for
Yeah.
myself. I opened 3 cases for myself, kind of like searching for the sketch card, just being like more of a lottery ticket, kind of. They kind of got me with that. I wanted to see if I could get lucky. I did not. Um, but I had a lot of fun opening it, and it's been a while since I've had like a ton of. I always love cracking packs. Obviously, that's why I do it every Tuesday. But it's been a minute since I was like excited just to open and like find pulls. Right, Outsiders was like not that fun for me. Like low majestic rate. The Marvels were like, dude, the Marvels are so rare in that set, and they're so cheap right now.
Yep.
Like Blood Rot's 100, Inertia's like 130, and Frailty. We said that for like a month straight when we're like reviewing Outsiders, and I like, let's circle back. It's still super rare, and they're still super cheap. Like Frailty's like 250. It's like wow.
Yeah, it is wild to think that like how cheap they are for how hard they are to pull. But like I
Mm-hmm.
agree. I mean, we opened 152 boxes, and man, it was a roller coaster. You have like just streaks of like
Mm-hmm.
what you had, just like absolute fire, marvels, legendaries, fables,
Mm-hmm.
crazy, everything you could ever want. And then you just have a case with one rainbow foil diadem, and you wonder why you're doing this again. Like
Yeah.
we opened 3 cold foil fables, and 2 of them back to back cases.
Wow. Yeah.
It
That's
was just like
crazy.
it was like you just like the hits just keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, and it's just like wild, and then it's just like dies down. So it was a lot of fun to open. I may or may not have purchased some more cases because I do like
Nice.
opening the set, and I think there's a lot of value in opening the set as well.
Yeah.
We've
Yep.
seen 4 sketch cards opened so far.
Yep. Yeah.
So
Still
if you
16 out there, right?
there's 16 still out there. If you wanted to like extrapolate that to like have like how much of the print run has been like consumed at this point, we're probably between 20 and 25% roughly. Um,
I
I
don't
think
know if that. Uh, yeah, I mean, at a high level, right?
like theoretically, yeah, right. So
Theoretically, yes,
and there's
but
supposed to be like a wave two, and you know that they probably like if they are releasing them in waves, they had to have held back some artist proof cards into the second wave. Otherwise, people would have been like, they only put it in the first wave,
oh,
or
you
there would have
said
been all
though,
these
you
like
said,
fugazi like conspiracy theories with like people in their little sketch boards and their tinfoil hats going nuts.
You said the
So
two words though, Nate.
what?
You said artist proof. LSS
Oh,
has LSS has come out and put on their collector center that these are not artist proofs. They
all right.
are of a different print
Serialized.
quality.
Yes.
They're serialized cards. Yeah, there's some of that going around. I've seen some chatter here and there on the interwebs about that. Um, yeah, I don't.
They're dope.
I like them. And since Baltimore, when they announced them, I was not expecting anything other than what we got. Like I don't know. For me, like when James White announced them, I was like, oh, that's what these are going to be, and they showed up, and that's what they are.
Yep.
I will say this though, I do have artist proofs from Federico. This is not what I'm seeing in photos. Like straight up, like the art on the back of the card looks watercolored or painted. Yes, it's not like colorized, but there's more shading, there's more detail put into these. I think these are not like a overnight in the hotel at an event from Federico. It looks like they put some time into these, and they are a heightened sketch for sure,
Yeah.
which is
I
cool.
I expected it to kind of look like this. I did not. The one thing I didn't expect though was like the front to basically look like a cold foil hero.
Mm,
I thought this was gonna be front and back serialized sketch card, like really like high end unique. So I guess I would say I'm a little disappointed there. I know that there's some people who are very disappointed, um, but overall, I think Dust Till Dawn really fun set to open. Um, I think it's really unique in the fact that it's not. LSS has clearly shown like we don't want to just give you broken stuff every single time. We want to give
mm,
you like basically we want to bring up the bottom and then
yeah,
kind of level everything out and make it playable and like going into nationals it's like what the team is talking about. There's a lot of viable decks right now, and all you have to do is master your matchups and you will do well.
yeah.
Because no one is like who is the Levia or the Azalea now, like honest question, who's the worst hero in the game right now? I have my
Riptide,
answer.
Arachne.
Okay, Arachne. Yeah, that's not close. Riptide, like
Mr. Gottlieb said he designed that guy, and on Arsenal Pass this week, he said he's like awful. He's like self sabotaging if you bring him to an event. Which props to him for saying that out loud because like we all knew it, Brian. But
yeah, yeah. Like
yeah,
I I think Prism is on its surface it looks bad. It is also very underexplored.
yeah.
So
I think Prism is probably more more underexplored than Vincent. I think Vincent kind of she just her mechanics probably limits her upside quite a bit. So she's probably just like I don't know. I haven't really played with her too much. I mean, like, I will be interesting to see if she can at least hang with the big dogs a bit. That would be fun to see. I think this weekend we'll kind of get maybe a better answer to that in Chicago, hopefully. But yeah, like wrapping it back to like pull rates and things in this set, Nate. I just think there's like a lot of, and we're gonna go over some of the EV of the set here in a second, but to segue over to that, I just think there's like a lot of fun hits in this set. And it feels like it's been a while since I've had that opening experience, right? Like Dynasty was okay, but the Marvels were super rare. The blackouts were like really hard to pull. Um, there was like EAs were kind of here and there. But yeah, this one just feels like, oh man, I got an EA ruin. That's cool. Oh, now I got a legendary. And so just like a wide set.
yeah, and we're gonna kind of dive into some of like the poll rates, um, and look at some of the data. We contacted the one. Is it Hamal Patel? Hamel?
It's
I butchered it.
Himmel. Yeah, I think it's Himmel.
All right, I'm sorry.
Hammurabi TCG.
that
I
man takes
should
so
I
much.
should know how to pronounce Hammurabi. I hope it's Hammurabi TCG because it
Yeah,
they played it every commercial break at the
at the
Battle Harder, and I was like, oh, I need to like learn this, and then guess what I didn't do? Didn't learn it. So I
yeah,
think I'm getting that right, but you know who it is. Everybody knows who it is.
yeah, yeah. I mean, fantastic member of the community. Always like he responds instantly, and that man has taken a lot of my money.
Yep.
But always ships it. I reuse his shipping stuff. I'll open the package and I'll reuse every
Yeah.
bit of it because he packages it up like to the
Yeah.
T, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm stealing that. It's mine now.
Yep. Yeah, but
Um,
shout out to him because this data is really solid because of him.
mhm.
He gave us all his poll rates. So yeah, big shout out there. It's always good to get more data. I know Nate, you opened you said like 150 boxes, but then we put in the 600 boxes that Himmel opened, and we it makes me feel a lot more confident in the data that we're talking to and showing you guys.
Yeah. This is 600 boxes of Belgium print as well.
Yep,
Um,
Belgium.
and like I when I got this data from Ted, I was like, this doesn't look anything like our data. Like our
Yeah.
poll rates were dramatically different over 152 boxes. So it is interesting. I know a guy who opened 75 boxes, and his poll rates lined up a lot closer to Hamel's. So I think it's just clumpy. Like
Hmm.
you will just have hot streaks and cold streaks, and I think we caught one of the worst cold streaks in 152 boxes. Um,
Yeah.
so it's like diving into it. I think one thing that the market might not be properly like assessing is like the EA Majestics. Those things
Yep.
are really hard to pull.
Yep.
Like they, I
Destruction. Would you say destruction sitting at like 28 bucks right now, EA?
think it was 23,
Wow. That's low.
$23.
Yeah.
Um, and
I felt
the
good
one,
buying them at like 40 and 50. So
yeah,
just to put that into, earlier in the week or mid last week, right? I'm getting my playset, and I had no qualms of being like, yeah, 40 bucks shipped. Let's go. Like I thought I was getting a good deal. So $23, that's smoking deal.
yeah, it's so it's 1 in 40 boxes. So you're looking at like fabled rarity for basically staples in Vincent. And if people figure out Vincent, I think people want to play Vincent. So
Yeah.
um those cards that could definitely move up.
Also
One of
shadow
my
always more popular than light, but no one says that out loud. Bro,
uh,
it's telling you.
mhm,
The secret is that shadow's more popular than light. Even though
yeah,
there's a bunch of prism stands, they're just louder. There's more of us.
I think one of the really unique things about this set is I think LSS like they're always experimenting. In one of the Brian Gottlieb interviews, he was like, if we're not innovating, like we're not giving you the best product possible. And I think I don't know who does like the like pull rate design or anything like that, but
Hmm.
they were playing with some
Yeah,
fun
they're cooking.
controls in there. Um, I have a sneaking suspicion that Crown of Providence was underprinted compared to all the other legendaries.
Yeah, that's
Um, and I
that's
think
an
Levia,
interesting comment. Yeah, it would be interesting if they underprint the reprint or
yeah,
like pull it down from previous so that I mean, I think it's probably not a bad idea to try that to see how it affects the market. Still make it kind of a chase card, make it feel good when you open it, right?
yeah,
Um so yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. There's some experimental things going on in this set.
yeah. In Ted, you had commented too before we started, like the widespread destruction is sitting at 23, but it also feels like the most common
Yeah.
of the three. So it almost felt like they were trying to like figure out if we're going to do these extended REAs, like what kind of like drop rates do we need to put on them? Because so our breakdown was 5 of the destruction, 3 of the ruin, and 1 in the annihilation.
Hmm.
And I knew another guy who was looking for annihilations, and he was looking for a long time. So I almost wonder if they tiered them.
Yeah, I snapped. So when I was getting them, Nate, I was like searching for them, right? And like Annihilations were just not for sale. They did not
Yeah.
show up on
Nope.
TCG Player for like until the beginning of this week. They just weren't there, like a couple days into this week actually, and they just like, and so like every time someone's like, "Hey, I got an Annihilation," I'm like, "Buy, buy, buy," because it's like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get these, man. They're so rare. They seem so rare. Again, that might be a little bit of just biasy, you know, the people keeping their place, things like that, right? It's hard. We can't really parse out that into the data, unfortunately, too much. I guess Hamel didn't break it down. Maybe we can ask him and we can follow up on that. But yeah, the other thing, and I think you started mentioning it, Nate, another little experiment I think in this set is Levia and her Marvel version.
Yeah.
Just not the printing of it. So like the non-foil, no rainbow foil Marvel is kind of experimental, just like like face up, right? That's you're like, wow, that's interesting. What are they gonna do with the rainbow foil? So they definitely don't want 3 versions of a card in a set anymore. I think that's what this set's telling us.
Yeah.
But the pull rates of these cards are kind of surprising. The Marvel is sitting at cold foil fabled rarity at 1 in 200 boxes.
I mean, that's higher than cold foil fable rarity.
Not in this data currently. That's what Hamel was pulling for that, but it's high. Like that rarity is that makes that very hard to get. That's why you see them sitting at like 800 bucks.
It it does seem like they did up the rarity on the rainbow foil fables as well. Because from Hamel's data, they bumped it because it's usually like 1 in 40, and I think from outsiders they bumped it down closer to like 1 in 30.
Mm-hmm.
But it's 1 in 60 from his data, and we had 2 rainbow foil fables in 152 boxes, so
Mm-hmm.
we were also right in that like 1 in 60 range.
Yeah.
So they're playing
Yeah,
some.
yeah, they're pulling some levers, I think. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, overall, pretty interesting stuff here, right? Like you said, the seems like the rainbow foil fable kind of moved around a bit. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know. I wonder how where they get this. Like the feedback loop must be kind of long for them, right? Though, because like the feedback from this set, like these rarities in the market, let's say they give it a month to stabilize, or maybe even a month and a half, you know, that's not going into this fall's set for sure.
Mhm.
Uh,
No.
no, you can't. Maybe they can push the pull rates around, the print rates. Like they can send it to the printer and then maybe change pull rates rate later than it's due to a printer. Maybe
It's probably
it's probably close. It's probably 2 sets out, I would say,
it's
minimum.
probably 2 sets out because they won't see the data. They probably won't see data that they actually want to use until probably mid-August.
Yeah,
And I think this next set is probably going to be
I
coming
mean
in October.
printing. Yeah.
So they probably have to hit that button about 3 months in advance of like how they want everything structured so they can print and ship.
So Dynasty info informed this set most likely, maybe.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Um, which makes sense with how they've kind of been. They wanted to use Dynasty info to inform the next supplemental set, and then Uprising was informing Outsiders,
mm-hmm.
um, which I think you probably see with like why the Outsiders Majestics got cut down because Uprising Majestics held 0 value.
Oh, that's a good point. Yep. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, yeah, I mean, just as an overall thought too, Nate, we're sitting at like $98. It dropped significant. Like data's still pretty new. So I don't really have too much comments on like where the overall EV of the box is right now. It's just so new, right? It's dropping. Like if I showed you the percent change from like we're recording on a Friday, this the 21st. If I showed you the percent change from the 16th, you'd fall out of your chair. But it's honestly quite normal. I think as things kind of, we're actually seeing the ebbs and flows here very quickly, maybe quicker than any other, quicker than any other set.
Yeah.
Rainbow Foil legendaries at one every 2.5 boxes, I think flew down pretty quickly in this set, which looks alarming, but then I have to remind myself that's Fab 2.0
Yeah.
and it's working.
Yep.
Fleshbag, amazing. Like, I'm going to single out Fleshbag and Carapace, amazing cards,
Yeah.
like full on, like you need them if you're playing Brute or Runeblade, and they're like under $30. That's what people want, man.
Yep.
So yeah, and then the cold foils are holding some value, so 2.0 is working.
Yeah. And you see that they brought the compared to Outsiders, they brought the extended art cold foil and the normal cold foil. They brought those pull rates almost in line. So like hitting an EA Rapture or Carapace or Diadem,
Mm,
like it you basically hit the cold foil legendary. There's really no delineation between the two. The pull rates are rather similar.
yeah,
It's just it looks cooler. That's it.
yeah, that's
But
okay because I
it
think,
looks sweet. I will say that.
yeah,
Like
the
it looks sweet.
Carapace is like, well, I mean, they all are pretty sweet, but obviously, I'm gonna, once I got the Carapace from you this week, Nate, I was like, ooh, you
Dude,
juiced me a little bit on the price, but
dude, that I, it looks like it's moving up. There's not a
yeah,
lot left
yeah,
of that card, and it's a really good card.
yeah,
Plus, that card is nice.
yeah. It's like a staple moving forward, for sure for Room Blades. It'll be in sideboards everywhere.
Yes.
So, but
Anything else you want to talk about on like the EV? Any other cards that you think like we should touch on? I think the one interesting thing about like the non-foil Majestics is that obviously we saw Warmongers just like pop off. Lost in Thought also starting to move back up.
mm-hmm.
Um, and some of the generics too are just kind of like slowly like dropping inventory.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
prices haven't moved yet, but the generics are really like starting to thin out in terms of inventory.
yeah, for sure. Um, generics, the generics are interesting in this set. They seem to be pretty strong, right? There's not a lot of um, dead weight other than Morlock. Oh no, Morlock Hill is a warrior card, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, as far as generic goes, but there is some, like, let's not kid ourselves. There's some dead weight in the majestic slot in this set, like more
Yeah,
than
there is.
normal, and they probably, unfortunately for LSS, it's the nature of the beast with LLing heroes, right? Like Northern Winds could have been a playable card, but Oldhim's gone in all formats, so it's like
Yeah.
they don't know that when they're printing it, right? Because he went on a run. Um, but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I have it highlighted here, Nate. I guess before we move on from this, I know there's like this is a bit of an eye chart, but Marvel Angels, not unlike Dragons, holding 18% of the box value right now. Non-foil Majestics, that's, again, we've been saying that since we started the podcast. Love to see it. Love to see that percentage high. Keep the Majestics valuable, please. And then Rainbow Foil Legendaries, like 14% of the box value. There's a lot of them. And even though we said that their value is like down compared to, previous, Fab 1.0, they're still, kind of pulling their weight there, right? And you get a lot of them, you can pull, so yeah, overall, I think it'll be interesting to see how this data develops.
Yeah, I agree. Um this is definitely not a one box set. This is not like your
Oh yeah,
uh,
that's a good
uh
point.
this is not a set you want to buy just one box of. If you're out there like looking at getting in the Dust Till Dawn, you definitely want to get a case. Like Outsiders, you can get away with just buying one box because you could just hit a Codex of Frailty and pay for everything.
Hmm.
Um, this is not it. There's so much spread value between all different slots, um,
Yep.
that you wanna make sure that you're kind of catching every piece of the pie when you're opening.
Yep. Yeah, for sure, Nate. That's a great point because, wrap it back to my story from my stream on Tuesday, right? It's like, oh, you got 10 legendaries, 12 boxes, amazing. Well, go back and watch that stream. Those two boxes that we missed on, dead. like, like,
Nice,
the
nice
box
more luck
battle,
you got there.
dude. The box battle, like, yeah, I'll put it in perspective for people. The box battle where we missed a legendary on the player that won that box battle, again, we go off highest value pulled out of 10 packs, won with an adult prism. I'm almost positive it was an adult prism. I was just like, ooh. Yeah, it's like you gotta open a case of this. If you can, if you, I mean, yeah, obviously you can hit big in this set too if you open a box, couple packs here or there. But like, yeah, if you want some cards, you want to have that like full Dust Till Dawn experience, save up for a case.
100%. So, what are you buying this week, Ted? What are you on the hunt for? Have you gotten everything from Dusk Till Dawn yet? What's on your buy list?
So my buy list, as I had mentioned, the EA widespreads, or yeah, widespreads. I have them procured now. So those are coming in. I can't wait to put together my fully rainbow foiled Vin set. I've been collecting rainbow foil Runeblade cards since the beginning of the year, and I have been playing Viz fully rainbow foiled, which is pretty sick. And then now I'll have Vin set. I have some commons and rares coming from a buddy of ours, and then a couple of those. So definitely grabbing those. Also looking hopeful flesh bag. Just like it's like sitting at $70, Nate. So it's like why it has a little bit, this is a little bit more staying power than the rainbow foil. Looks a little bit nicer, a little bit bling. And I mean, like, come on, $70. That card's broken.
Card's pretty good.
Yeah.
Card slaps.
Mm-hmm.
So, I bought some more cases. I got my playset, so I'm pretty happy with everything. I'm just kind of, I do want to get a cold foil Iron Tongue versus at some point, but
That's a beautiful
another
card.
yeah. Another shout out to Hamel. He got me this cold foil EA Trench. Because Warmonger's Recital was printed as a card.
Yeah.
Or what? No, Warmonger's Diplomacy, not
Yeah,
Warmonger's Recital. Been playing too much draft.
Yeah.
Diplomacy was printed as a card, so I now have to play Trench. I take back all the words I said about Trench previously. I'm sorry, Trench. I didn't mean any of them. My Lexi deck needs you. Please come home.
Yeah. EA Trench is one of the, man, what a great card. Like, what a beautiful card, actually. Not a great card, but just an awesome design. I love seeing cards in this set, in this game, where it's just like, wait, there's pirates. You know what I mean? Like, you just like they'll like chuck in some art and you're just like, wait, when are you gonna pay off that lore? Like, I want to know about the pirates now. But you have to wait like a year or more. Yep. So I think it's really cool that they do that, and I think that's a great example of that type of card that gives you hints at things to come.
Pirate Ranger, let's go.
Yeah, for sure. Crossbow. But yeah, that's all I got, Nate. I think like I said, I'm really excited to see how Dust Till Dawn goes. I'm gonna try like hell not to keep opening boxes because I'd rather do it on stream, do it live. It's so much fun doing the battles and stuff. But man, I'm addicted to opening these boxes.
They're a lot of fun to open. That's
searching for that sketch card, man.
Dude, if I would lose my mind. I don't even know what I'd do.
Yeah, same here. But all right, everybody, that's going to do it for this episode. Appreciate you watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell for all things Flesh and Blood Market Talk, and also live streams of box breaks on Tuesdays. I appreciate it. Peace.